Career growth is one of those things that create a lot of quiet pressure. Even when things are going okay, there's often this feeling that you should be doing more, moving faster, or reaching the next level. Over time, I have learned to think about career growth in a calmer, more sustainable way, and that's what I want to share with you in this video. The pressure to rush. Yeah, most often than not, there's always pressure for you to rush. We are surrounded by messages that suggest career growth should be fast and visible. You join a company today as a junior staff and you want in the next year, the next 2 years, the next few months, you want a promotion, right? Big titles. But what often doesn't get talked about is the cost of rushing. Now, growing too fast without direction can get you to burnout or lead to what we call burnout. Some level of dissatisfaction or feeling stuck in roles that don't actually fit. So it literally says you are rushing for promotion, you get it, and then you're kind of like, I don't really love this role. I'm not fit for this role. But by virtue of the fact that you are at a particular stage or level in that organization due to what you may deem as career growth, you are kind of stuck with that organization. I've actually learned that not all growth is healthy growth. Yeah, apparently we want the money, we want the big cars, we want a promotion, but when it's driven by pressure rather than clarity, we end up suffering more than we gain. So people are promoted to certain levels in organizations and they are suffering. What do I mean by suffering? Because they don't fit in those roles. They are struggling to keep up the good works, and some are just there occupying roles as liabilities because there was no clarity, there was only pressure, and they maneuver their way to get those promotions. Regarding what growth means, that so personally, when I'm reflecting on what career growth means, at some point I had to redefine what career growth meant to me because I was thinking that okay, if I'm in this organization, I need to get that next role. Like, yeah, you get it. But I have to redefine it. So instead of asking what's my next move, when am I going to be promoted to the next level, I started asking what am I learning right now. So what do I mean by that? We live in a society where there are abundance of technology and the rush, right? The adrenaline for people to join companies without even familiarizing themselves with what they need to know to be a right fit for those roles. So, what are you learning right now will determine whether you are growing in your career or not. And that's why sometimes people who have been in some organization for a long time get disposed and replaced by new employees. Why? Because they are just using the number of years they've been in the organization as the only criteria to seek promotion, to seek advancement in the next level. But what they've refused to acknowledge or know is that you need depth, you need understanding, you need a sustainable skill set that you continuously improve that makes you a reliable asset for the organization to keep you in that organization and make sure you get the right rewards for that. So, looking at it from that perspective, career growth is usually, for me, what I've come to learn is depth over speed, the depth at which you are immersed in that role, right? I found out that depth often matters more than speed. So if you are speeding, what I mean by speed is that you are asking for the next promotion, the next role because you have been there for a number of years. Meanwhile, you are just superficial when it comes to the technical know-how of your job. So taking time to truly understand your work, improve how you think, and become reliable creates a kind of stability that titles alone don't provide. And so you see on social media, people say, my boss cannot even use Excel. My this person that's in a higher position cannot do A, B, C, D. That you are doing it, you have to now acknowledge that in terms of career growth, the right thing is to learn. It's not to know your job in depth. It's not about just asking for when will I get the next promotion. So you'll be ridiculed. I know Some of you would say, I don't care if I be radical as long as I get what hits my account. But career growth is not just all about the monetary rewards. One practical mindset shift that you need to have regarding career growth is that you need to start focusing on becoming useful rather than impressive. So you just like, I want to impress them with this AB and then I can seek for promotion. You have to be useful. In other words, you have to be more detailed, more in depth, delve into your role and become an asset rather than just um, a tool that can just be used for one purpose and disposed the next minute. So, in the long run, career growth doesn't have to feel like a race. It can be a steady process of learning, refining, and adjusting one season at a time. So, I just want to throw this question back to you. In the entire year that you have been at your work, can you boast of at least one more skill set that you've added to whatever you knew at the beginning of the year? If you know that you haven't done that, or if the answer to that question is no, then it means that you are not growing in your career. You're only static in terms of your usability. And very soon, you may be disposed of somebody who has been learning in another organization. So you have to know that taking a calm approach doesn't mean settling. So if you're taking a calm approach to learn and grow in your career, doesn't mean that you are settling for less, right? And for that, what's making you think is that career growth that comes with learning, depth over speed, and being a useful asset quietly can open opportunities for you and quietly can help you move out the ladder as an asset and not rush to be a misfit in the long run. So career growth, rethink your career growth goals and adjust yourself accordingly.